The United States had to fight two different enemies during the Vietnam War. You had the North Vietnamese army. They're easy to figure out who they are. They wear uniforms, right? When you see a member of the North Vietnamese army, you know that they are because they are wearing their uniform. There's a second group that we have to fight. It's going to the National Liberation Front, or the Viet Cong. They blend in with the population. They take potshots. Think of them as insurgents. It's very hard to fight an insurgency because you don't even know who the insurgents are. Well, the reason why the United States wants to get involved in Vietnam is because of what's known as the domino theory. And the theory was, and it was coined by Eisenhower, and Kennedy takes it up as well. Basically, it says that if the domino that represents Vietnam falls, then a whole bunch of other things are going to fall. We'll need Laos, Cambodia, Thailand. You can even go into India, and it's going. The communism is going to spread and spread and spread, and the next thing you know, they're going to be on the Rio Grande. So the United States is going to try and support the Diem regime in order to fight against this this communistic infiltration of South Vietnam. And we think we can do it by giving money and sending military advisors. That's really Kennedy's approach to this war, is to send military advisors in order to teach the South Vietnamese how to fight against the war against the North Vietnamese. The problem is that Kennedy is getting tired of the Diem regime. It's a tone-deaf regime. I told you in another video that the Buddhist majority doesn't really like it that much, and thus they're going to start protesting, not so much with violence against others, but violence against themselves. Why is the Diem regime tone-deaf? Well, let's listen to the reaction to one of these self-immolations, as they call it. Diem was never married, but his brother was. Thus, his sister-in-law, Diem's sister-in-law, was the de facto first lady, right? And basically what will happen is that when they start hearing about these self-immolations, the Diem's sister-in-law is going to call them barbecues. And in fact, she's going to say, if the Buddhists want to have another barbecue, I will gladly supply the gasoline. The Kennedy administration decided that Diem was hopeless. And they're trying to find out a way the United States can do anything about it, right? But fortunately for Kennedy, Diem and his brother were overthrown. Now, unfortunately for Diem, they were both murdered, but at least Kennedy got a way out with the Diem regime. The only thing, of course, is Kennedy himself will be assassinated in November of 1963, thus bringing in LBJ. And when LBJ becomes president and he takes over the Vietnam War, we're going to see a much different war, particularly as we get into 1964.